Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning, Alfonso.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Today we're going to learn again about Jesus, and he's actually going to be in a boat again. And we're going to learn about that. But first, Alfonso, we ran out of time last week.
Yep.
And we were going to sing a song with you.
Okay.
All right. Do you remember? It was Christ in the boat.
With Christ in my boat, I can smile at the storm. Smile at the storm. Smile at the storm. With Christ in my boat, I can smile at the storm.
As we go sailing home. All right.
Sailing.
Let's stop there, Alfonso. Let's try it again since it's a new song for everybody.
Okay.
And we'll start from the beginning.
Okay.
You start us.
With Christ in my boat, I can smile at the storm. Smile at the storm. Smile at the storm. With Christ in my boat, I can smile at the storm. As we go sailing home. Sailing, 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 sailing home. With Christ in my boat, I can smile at the storm. As we go sailing home.
Good. Woo! You got a good voice there, Alfonso.
Nice.
And there's a lot of storms. There can be real storms, like with thunder and
Ooh,
rain
I like those.
and floods. You like floods?
No, I like the thunderstorms where they're like, boom!
Yeah, I like those too. And the lightning.
Yeah.
But they can get a little powerful and scary. And,
Yeah.
and they can make us actually cry more than smile.
Mm.
But what we can do is, if there's a storm, if Christ is in our life, we can have joy and happiness because he promises he will never leave us.
Oh.
Today, our story is called The Storm That Stopped, a true story about who Jesus really is. It's written by Allison Mitchell, and it's illustrated by Catalina Echeverry.
Okay.
Okay,
Echeverry. I like that name.
I like that too. One day, long ago, Jesus was teaching people by the sea. Soon, more people arrived. Then others, then more and more, until there were people everywhere. We can't hear back here. Give me some room. Be quiet. I can't see. The crowds were just too big. No one could see Jesus, and no one could hear Jesus.
Ooh, that's not good.
So Jesus asked his friends, the disciples, to push their boat out onto the water. He sat in the boat, and the huge crowd spread out along the beach. Now they could all see and hear Jesus as he told them all about God. When he finished teaching the people, Jesus said to his friends, "Let's go over to the other side of the sea." Jesus had finished teaching the crowd, and now he had something to teach his friends. But they didn't know it yet. So they all jumped in the boat with him and set sail across the sea.
Sailing, sailing. Oh, go ahead.
Jesus was so tired. He'd been teaching the people all day long. So he lay down in the back of the boat and fell fast asleep.
He did, didn't he?
He did. It was a quiet evening. The water gently lapped against the boat, and the sun slowly set in the sky. Jesus was sleeping. The disciples were quietly talking. Then all of a sudden,
boom!
they were in the middle of the biggest, loudest, scariest, most ginormous storm you can imagine.
Ooh. I don't think I'd like a storm when I was in a boat.
Yeah, it could get pretty violent, couldn't it?
Yeah.
The wind blew hard. The waves grew huge. The water poured into the boat, but Jesus was asleep. The wind blew harder. The waves grew huger. The water filled the boat, but Jesus was still asleep. Jesus, wake up! We're drowning here. Don't you care? silly thing to say to Jesus. Of course he cared.
Yep.
He loved his friends so much that one day he was going to die for them. But they were scared, Alfonso.
Yep.
Sometimes when we're scared, we could feel like, Jesus, don't you hear me? Don't you care? I am drowning here. But Jesus did something amazing. He got up.
Huh.
He didn't help his friends pour the water out of the boat. He didn't help them try to row back to land. Jesus simply spoke.
Hey, what's up? Is that what he said?
3 simple words.
Oh. Hey, what's up? Hey, that's 3.
Yeah, but not that. He spoke to the storm, to the wind, and to the waves. Peace. Be still. Just 3 little words, and the storm stopped. Right away, at that very moment, the sea was quiet, still, and calm.
I would have liked to see that.
Yeah. Sometimes that's what we need to hear to our heart, for our heart. Our heart is the real us, the person that thinks and feels and gets scared and gets happy.
Or your tongue.
And we need to hear God say, peace, be still. Jesus spoke the word and the storm was gone. The waves were calm. Then Jesus looked at his friends. Why are you so afraid? Do you still not trust me? But they were terrified. They weren't terrified of the storm now, Alfonso. They were terrified of, who is this man? They asked each other, who is this? Even the waves and wind does what he says? Who was Jesus, Alfonso?
He was God. He is God.
Jesus is God. We can trust him. He loves us so very much, Alfonso. Alfonso, so we had a couple stories about Jesus calming the storm.
Yep, I remember.
And today we learned to calm the storm. Last week our story was about him being out on choppy water.
Choppy water?
Where the water was wavy and they were trying to row and they weren't going anywhere. They just kept rowing and finally Jesus went out walking on the water.
Yep.
And what happened?
Didn't Peter say, hey, if it's really you, tell me to come to you walking on the water?
That's right.
And then he sank.
What happened first?
He walked on the water.
He walked on the water. But then what did he do that made him sink?
He looked at the waves.
He looked at the waves and
he waved! Oh, wait! No, he didn't wave. he got scared.
He doubted.
He started going, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah.
And he,
Jesus, save me! That's what he did.
Yeah. It'd be kind of hard, like, as he was going down, to yell out, Jesus saves me.
Ah! You heard me!
But Jesus always hears us.
Yep.
Well, it says in James that when we go through difficult times, we should pray and ask God for wisdom.
Yep.
And not to doubt. Because when we doubt, we'll be like a boat that's tossed around in the sea by the waves. Have you ever gone in the ocean?
Nope.
Well, I have, and one time the waves kept knocking me down, and then I'd get back up, and then they'd knock me down again and pull me under. And when you get into where the waves are like that, it's hard to get back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of...
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. So that could be a really difficult time. But when we doubt, does Jesus just walk away from us?
Yep.
Is that what he did to Peter? He just turned around and walked away?
Nope.
No. He reached out and he saved Peter.
Yep.
Yeah, he loves us very much. And we're going to, I think that's one you said was your favorite verse.
Yep.
And we're going to do it in a song.
Yep.
We're going to practice singing this together.
Okay.
It's found in Isaiah
26:3.
Isaiah 26:3. So we'll do it a few times so the boys and girls and maybe their moms and dads can sing along with us.
Maybe they're puppets too.
Maybe they're puppets. Maybe they're dogs and they're cats and they're fish.
What?
Okay, let's give it a try.
Okay. It's Isaiah 26:3. Here we go. It goes like this.
Do you want to read it to us first?
I'm a puppet. I can't read.
Okay, let me see it.
Okay.
Isaiah 26:3.
Isaiah 26:3.
You will keep in perfect peace
You will keep in perfect peace
those whose minds
those whose minds
are steadfast
are steadfast
because they trust in you.
because they trust in you.
So who?
God, not you.
Right. God will keep in perfect peace. God will give us peace when our minds are steadfast. What's steadfast?
It's kind of like when you keep your mind set and don't get distracted.
Okay. So the things we think about and the things that we love and the things that we want and the things that we do, we keep that focus, we keep that on
Kind of
God.
like Peter. Remember, he was walking. He gets his eyes not on Jesus, but on the waves. He starts going blah, 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 blah. But then his mind goes back and says, Jesus in me! But, yeah.
Okay. Say, you will keep in perfect peace.
You will keep in perfect peace him who's... Oh! Wait a minute. You will keep in perfect peace those whose mind are steadfast because they trust in you. Isaiah 26:3.
So
Like a
Isaiah, I do. Isaiah 26:3.
Yep.
You will keep in perfect peace
will keep in perfect peace
those whose minds
those whose minds
are steadfast
are steadfast
because they trust in you.
because they trust in you.
So God will keep them.
So God will keep them.
No, don't repeat this, Alfonso.
Oh, okay.
God will keep us in perfect peace when our minds are steadfast because we're trusting in Him.
Yep.
Yeah. And that word steadfast
Yep.
is a verb that's being worked out in our lives that God actually will help us to do.
Good.
Yeah. He's going to be there.
Just like he helped Peter, huh?
Just like He helped Peter. So we're going to sing that a few times together.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. Isaiah 26:3.
Again, slower.
Okay.
Not that slow.
Oh, okay.
You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast
because they trust in you. Isaiah 26:3.
How about faster?
Okay.
Let's try that again, and where we can understand you.
Oh, okay. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. Isaiah 26:3.
One more time.
You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. Isaiah 26:3.
Fastest, but we can still understand you. Take a deep breath. Go.
You will keep in perfect peace whose mind is steadfast because they trust in you. Isaiah 26:3.
Okay, one more time. Nice and easy.
You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. Isaiah 26:3.
Okay, have a great week.
And keep your mind steadfast on Jesus.
Yes.
Bye.